Well, if you're in the cryptocurrency space, Bitcoin, Dash Coin, Ripple Coin, Ethereum Coin, whatever, Dash Coin is absolutely crashing right now. While simultaneously, Bitcoin has just shot up again past $1,100. I'm going to start off with this chart. I know a lot of people, I have been asked a few times, Joe, can you do an interview with some of the people behind Dash Coin? And I'll be honest, I'm not really 100% sure why I didn't, just because it's something new like Bitcoin. But I think the real reason is before all this stuff, or before I was really into all of this cryptocurrency stuff, I knew about Bitcoin. There was no Ethereum. There was none of this other stuff. There was Bitcoin, Litecoin, Feathercoin, and then Dogecoin, and this coin, and that coin, and all these offshoot coin nonsense things came out. And they all would come up and fail. Another one would come up and fail. Another one would come up and fail. It almost reminds me, not even almost, it does remind me exactly like the stock market. Like I was telling you about, I'm not sure if I released the video yet. I've got four videos on standby for Monday morning. I'm releasing this Sunday in the afternoon, so I don't know if what I'm about to say was covered in one of these videos I'm releasing Monday that are sitting here on standby, or I actually already did it for Sunday today, earlier. But I talked about, it was a Zero Hedge article, grilled cheese thing. Mike Tyson was pushing something, but they said the absurdity of this grilled cheese company, which was failing, not profitable, had I forget what the number was, millions, either 100 million or 28 million or 128 million, something in the millions dollars. That's what Wall Street said it's worth, and that's what the stock is worth, and yada, 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 on a failing company. And I said, well, that's like Snapchat. Snapchat is not making any money whatsoever. It is a failing company, and they've even said even next year, we're probably not going to make money either. That's okay. It's worth $28 billion. So that's what this reminds me of, these coins. They're nothing. They're never going to be used again, really, but other than people, momentum chasers. Momentum chase it up, ride it up, oh, pump and bump, pump, 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 and then dump, have a nice day. And we just witnessed, I'm telling you, I'm going to show you this chart, quite possibly one of the most epic cryptocurrency pump and dump situations I've ever seen. Let's look at this chart together, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This is a 3-month period. Now, granted, you look at this, $13, $14, $15 for, this is Dash Coin, Dash, D-A-S-H, and it is traded as capital D-A-S-H, the symbol. And then we had this big jump, remember? It was over 100 bucks, 102, 100, whoa, 100, what was that, 13 I just saw a second ago? 112, oh my gosh. 114, you know what I mean? So 114, and this is just a matter of days ago. If you look at the date, it's March 18th. We're 2 weeks past that now. And it is down, which I'm going to, let's take a look at I got 3 months. Let's look at a 7-day right now. 7-day, $91. 2-day, right this second, 60 bucks. 7 days ago, 95 or so dollars high. 2-day, and as you can see, looking at that chart of all the time periods that this thing is going down, and it's steadily going down, boy, oh boy, is it massively dropping today specifically. Again, April 2nd, I'm in the, well, I guess my body's blocking the date and time on my screen, but it's 2:20 p.m. Eastern time as I'm doing this video. In fact, you want to take a little peek? 2:11 or 2:21. Could some people have made a lot of money? Absolutely. And even at $60 and falling, like massively falling, it's still better than $15. It's still 4 times 15, right? 15 is 30, 30, 4 times its value. You know, my chart was 3 months ago. Really 2 to 3 months ago. Again, you could argue that's not bad. It's still not bad. And you could get out right now if you want to and still made some money had you been in then. But the point is, I haven't seen Bitcoin move like this. I have seen the altcoins move like this, where there's a rapid drop, and then in a short window of time, it's way, 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 way down. Now, I do remember, and I will say this about Bitcoin, when it was 12 or 11, 1200, whatever it was, the original high, like 3 years ago, whatever, it did come back down. It definitely came back down. And it slowed, but it wasn't brutally fast, but it was definitely coming down. It stayed around 250. But then something interesting happened with Bitcoin. It never got crushed. It was still around 250. It never went lower. And again, it was a little bit up or down from that price, but generally speaking, it was like 250. Sat there. Webbot came out and said, this thing's going to go up. It's going up there at 408, 428. We see that happening 3 times. And then it's going to go up and stay above. It's not coming down. And that was 2 years ago. And it happened. And it never came back down to that price. It also said this whole 888 thing. You're going to see that. It'll finally get above there. It's going to bounce around, big crocodile teeth up and down. But then it's not going to come back down below like the 800 something, whatever it was. And for the most part, it has maintained above it. Now, I know we had this big thing, Bitcoin Unlimited, Bitcoin Core. What's going to happen? And it pushed the price down, bounced back up. Stayed around 1,000. It is now over $1,100 again, Bitcoin. So while Dash is crashing, Bitcoin is smashing. And I'm not here to bash Dash. Boy, am I rhyming today. I'm not here to bash Dash. That's not what I'm trying to do. All I'm saying is I've always stuck with Bitcoin out of all of them. And I know I just read the Webbot report and it said, hey, Dashcoin, or excuse me, not Dashcoin, Ripple Coin and Ethereum. Now, Ethereum's already been in a couple Webbot reports. And Cliff High said Ethereum will do well. It's not going to be bad, but it's not going to be a Bitcoin. That's what Cliff High said according to the data. It'll do well. You can definitely make some money on Ethereum, but it's not going to be like Bitcoin. To me, that sounds like choosing some other metal instead of gold and silver. When all hell breaks loose, gold and silver are going to be shining stars. You can pick these other things, you'll be happy, but you're going to be real happy, like with silver especially. So, point being, Dashcoin came out of nowhere, just like a lot of altcoins. And it appears to be doing the dance, the death spiral, potentially anyways, a potential death spiral of all the previous altcoins. I try to say this the way it makes sense, like a little analogy, but it's not just an analogy, it's true. Bitcoin was really the first kind of cryptocurrency of its kind. Like there was nothing else really before Bitcoin. So Bitcoin came out, it was the first thing of its kind, it was this unique thing, and you can mine it and all this other stuff. It made waves on the internet, and it never went away. It was the king of the crop. Other ones tried to come again. Litecoin, Feathercoin, they tried, not even close. Ethereum came, tried, not even close. Dashcoin came again, tried, not even close. That's like the Facebook of cryptocurrencies. It's the YouTube website videos of cryptocurrency. Now that when YouTube came out, other video sites tried to come out and replicate what YouTube was doing. Nobody came even close. There was no other video site on the face of this earth that can even hold a candle next to YouTube. Same thing with LinkedIn. There's nothing else like LinkedIn. Twitter, there's nothing else like Twitter. It came out first. Sure, there's little side copies of people trying to do the same thing, but Twitter is Twitter. It's why they have the largest share of users, or amount of users, because they came out first. Everybody flocks to it, and then other people, I want to do that too. I'm going to change it up a little bit, make mine better. Only to find out, no matter how much better you think you can make it, the people have already gone into this thing. It's already sold. They've already sold on it, and that is why I keep talking about Bitcoin, and why Bitcoin is the only thing that I actually own right now as far as cryptocurrencies. I did think about Ripple Coin and all that, but it's penny to 2 pennies. What's going on here? I have a feeling it's going to do the same thing. Ripple Coin, people will jump in there, all the traders make some money, and jump out. And that is exactly what I'm seeing right now as of Sunday. It is down, and it's not just a little, it is just like waterfall down. I mean, it's not good. 59.69 is the actual price. I'm going to refresh this page. I'm not sure how frequently it updates. It's updated again, 59.85, so it's a few pennies higher. But man, this is not looking good for Dashcoin right now, I'll say that much. But Zero Hedge has an article. Bitcoin tops $1,100 as Japanese payments law goes into effect. Japanese payments law, what is that? After a virtual roller coaster over the last few weeks, Bitcoin is back above $1,100 today as traders anticipate demand, with Japan recognizing Bitcoin as a legal method of payment starting yesterday. Now, I do remember hearing a little blip about this the other day. As CoinDesk reports, the country's legislature passed a law following months of debate that brought Bitcoin exchanges under anti-money laundering / know your customer rules, while also categorizing Bitcoin as a kind of prepaid payment instrument. It's a debate that began in the wake of the collapse of Mt. Gox, which was a former exchange for Bitcoin, the now defunct Bitcoin exchange, and shuttered after months of growing complications and, in the end, revelations of insolvency and alleged fraud. According to Japan's Financial Services Agency, the law went into effect on April 1st, putting in place capital requirements for exchanges as well as cybersecurity and operational stipulations. In addition, those exchanges will also be required to conduct employee training programs and submit to annual audits. Yet there may be more work to come in this area. For example, Nomura Research Institute Yasutaki Okano indicated in May of 2016 report they had that other Japanese laws may need to change to account for the tech, including the Banking Act and Financial Instruments and Exchange Act, yada, yada, yada. So, one of my kids and one of their friends are playing Barbies outside. I think one of the Barbies just fell off of a tree for pretend. So, anyways, this makes me think of something else. And I'm not going to go search for it right now. But one of the Webbot reports that's at least several months old, as in January, February at the earliest, maybe November, December at the latest of last year. So November 2016, December 2016, January 2017, or February 2017-ish timeframe, said there would be good news from officialdom, government source, government of good news, adopting Bitcoin, something to do with Bitcoin. And I and you were thinking, because he was talking a lot about China, oh, let's look for Chinese adaptation from their country for people to use Bitcoin. And they've actually changed a few rules, allowed the exchanges to continue. They didn't shut Bitcoin down. And again, this whole thing with Bitcoin Unlimited, Bitcoin Core, they're saying the Chinese government was possibly behind Bitcoin Unlimited. I don't know. But how about the Japanese government doing this? It can now be treated as like a currency, like a way to pay for things. You can pay for stuff with Bitcoin now in Japan. That is officialdom grasping onto Bitcoin and accepting and understanding this is going to be the wave of the future. We agree, so therefore we're going to allow you to make payments and do things with it. It's now law. That is precisely what was in the Webbot report happening within the time frame, basically, that it said. I do want to say it mentioned it might happen in March, not April, and today is April 2nd. So forgive the Webbot if it's off by a week or two. Yeah, again, going off of memory, I don't even have it in front of me. So I wanted to just talk about that briefly. Little Sunday bonus afternoon video. Dash is crashing, Bitcoin is smashing, and the Japanese. Now notice the Japanese didn't make a law that said you can use Dash Coin or Feather Coin or Litecoin or Dogecoin or Ripple Coin or any other coin. Ethereum, no. Bitcoin. That's what this was about. According to Japan's Financial Services Agency, that law went into effect April 1st, putting in place capital requirements for exchanges as well as cybersecurity. I want to see, because as I'm saying this, click on CoinDesk link, that's where this came from. I don't want to misspeak as our politicians are, oh, sorry, I misspoke. Yeah, but you said you did that illegal act. Well, I misspoke. I misspoke. I want to make sure this isn't for all cryptocurrencies and that it's specifically for Bitcoin, because that would just push my thought even further. That it's Bitcoin, everybody. Wake up, it's Bitcoin, not Dashcoin, not Feathercoin, not this coin, not that coin. Even though there's momentum chasers all over the place on these coins, you can make money. Even with Dashcoin, you could have made a lot of money recently. So it just says, Japan is set to begin recognizing Bitcoin as a legal method of payment starting tomorrow. And this was from March 31st, their article. So April 1st. And no, this isn't April Fool's Day. They don't play no silly games over there in Japan. That's a nonsensical American kind of a thing. But it's specific. It says it's Bitcoin. Nothing else, not cryptocurrencies. It is Bitcoin. That's what this article is telling me. So you got Bitcoin? I think you might want some. Again, next year's weird, obscene, crazy forecast from the Webbot report that has been accurate to date, by the way, is calling for somewhere around 14,000 US dollars for one Bitcoin sometime in 2018. Could it be wrong? Absolutely. Webbot's not perfect. But when it comes to Bitcoin, it has been on fire with accuracy since 2 years ago now. So do keep that in mind. As crazy as that number sounds. It's almost as crazy as $300, $400, $500 silver. Oh, come on. 14,000 Bitcoin. Get out of here. Well, wait a minute. It was never supposed to go to 1,000 again. Much less 1,100, 1,200. Then the forking. We're going to fork or not fork. Stick a fork in it. Don't stick a fork in it, so to speak. Doesn't matter. Back up $1,100. Japanese new law. Up. There we go. Money back in Bitcoin. So it makes me wonder, did everyone flood out of Dashcoin all of a sudden to get right back into Bitcoin now? Very well possible, but I have no way of knowing that. But I can tell you one thing. If I go to fiatleague.com and I let you take a peek at that, China and US, there's a lot more happening in the US all of a sudden. Every time I come to this website, what you see happening right now in the United States of America is happening in China. Every single day, I look at this site, China. Now, granted, I do realize it's 2:30 in the afternoon, but I've looked at this in the morning, afternoon, evening, and I used to always see China out of control. However, being that it's Sunday, is it possible? And let me see. What time is it in China? Because I wonder if they're even able to use some of their exchanges over there. Time in China. Okay. Oh, yeah. It's exactly on the opposite side there. So if it's 2:34 Eastern time, it's 2:34 a.m. And perhaps their exchanges aren't open, and that's why we don't see hardly any movement in Bitcoin over in China. Now, I recognize you can also send wallet-to-wallet transactions, but again, most of these people, most everybody, is using their online accounts, online wallets from their personal wallets to make the transaction. So I got a sneaky suspicion that in several more hours, when it's not 8, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., this is going to reverse massively, and you're going to see what I normally see, massive amounts of Bitcoin transactions happening in China. But this is still good news because you see there's action on a Sunday right now in America. So the whole world, once again, is paying attention to Bitcoin, and they want in on it. That's the bottom line here. So hope you got some Bitcoin as part of your portfolio. Take care.